All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to tackle the Linux command line. We're going to demystify it, break down all those essential commands that'll take you from, what is this thing, to feeling totally at home in the terminal.
I mean, come on, we've all been there, right? You pop open the terminal for the first time, and there it is, that blinking cursor on a black screen just staring back at you. And you're thinking, okay, now what? It's a little intimidating, for sure. Kind of like someone just handed you the keys to a spaceship but forgot the manual.
But here's the thing, that blank screen, it's not empty. It's packed with potential. And trust me, by the time we're done here, you're not going to see it as some scary black box. You're going to see it for what it is, probably the most powerful tool you have to control your entire system.
So, first things first, where do we even start? Well, just like exploring a new city, the very first thing you need to do is get your bearings. We've got to learn how to move around the Linux file system. And your absolute #1 command for that is pwd. That stands for Print Working Directory. Seriously, just think of it like that big red "you are here" dot on a mall map. Anytime you're lost, just type pwd, hit enter, and boom, it tells you exactly where you are. It's your home base.
Okay, so you know where you are. Now what? You need to know what's around you, right? That's what ls is for. It just lists everything in your current folder. But the real magic is in the options, like ls-la. The L gives you a long, detailed list, and the A shows all files, even the hidden ones. It's basically like giving your terminal X-ray vision.
Now to actually move, we use cd, which just stands for change directory. So you type cd and then the name of the folder you want to go into. Simple. But check out these two super handy shortcuts. cd ... That's cd ... Takes you up one level. And my personal favorite, just typing cd all by itself, no matter where you are, instantly teleports you right back to your home directory. It's a lifesaver.
All right, so we can move around. Awesome. What's next? Well, now that we can explore, let's start actually doing something. Let's create and manage some files and folders.
This is a perfect little workflow. Watch this. First, mkdir projects. We're making a directory. Then touch project/plan.txt creates a brand new empty file right inside it. Okay, now we need to put something in it, so we use echo myplan and that little greater than arrow to redirect the text into the file. Want to see if it worked? Cat will show you the contents right there on the screen. And finally, when you're done, rm just removes the file. See? 5 commands, and you've gone from nothing to done.
Now echo is fine for a quick line of text, but for real editing, you need a proper text editor. And in the terminal, the two main players are Nano and Vim. Here's the deal. Nano is your best friend when you're starting out. It's simple, and it literally puts the commands you need right at the bottom of the screen. Vim? Well, Vim is ridiculously powerful, but it's famous for being tough to learn. My advice? Start with Nano. Get comfortable. You can always tackle the beast that is Vim later on.
Of course, you're going to need to manage these files. CP for copy, MV for move, and hey, fun fact, MV is also how you rename files. You just move it to a new name. Now, a quick word of warning about RM. If you add the -r flag for recursive, it will delete an entire directory and everything inside it, no questions asked, so be careful with that one. And if you ever lose a file, find is like your system's bloodhound. It'll sniff it out for you.
Okay, so you're getting the hang of it, right? Moving files, making directories, you're comfortable. Now it's time to level up. We're going to shift from just using the system to actually managing it. We're talking user accounts and installing software.
And this brings us to probably the most important command you'll learn. You know the saying, with great power comes great responsibility? Well, in Linux, with great power comes the sudo command. It stands for super user do, and when you type it before another command, you're basically telling the system, step aside, I've got this, I have admin powers. It's the key to everything important.
So how do we use this power? Well, if you want to create a new user, you need sudo add user. Need to set their password? Sudo passw. And if you want to switch over and log in as them to test something out, that's su for switch user. Then, when you're done playing as them, just type exit and you're back to your own account.
And what about installing new stuff? Super easy, especially on systems like Debian or Ubuntu. It's a 2-step recipe. Step 1. Always run sudo apt update. This just refreshes your system's catalog of what's available. Step 2. Sudo apt install and then the name of the program. For example, try installing NeoFetch. It's a neat little program that shows you some cool system info. Super simple. Okay, so your Linux box isn't just sitting there by itself, right? It's connected to the internet, and the command line is an amazing tool for all things networking, from troubleshooting to just downloading files.
Let's cover the vitals. Wondering what your IP address is? Just type IP address. Not sure if you're actually connected? Ping google.com. It's like shouting Marco across the internet and waiting for it to shout Polo back. And if you're really curious, traceroute will show you the exact digital path your request takes to get there, hop by hop. It's pretty cool.
Now this next one is a total game changer. The command is grep, which is a search tool, but the concept is the pipe, that vertical line symbol. See, a lot of commands spit out tons of text. The pipe lets you take all that output and funnel it into another command. So here, we take everything from IP address, pipe it into grep, and tell grep to only show us the lines with the word inet. And boom, there's your IP address, clear as day. This is a superpower.
Need to download something from the web? You've got two main tools. Think of wget as a simple hammer. You give it a link, it downloads the file. Done. Curl is more like a Swiss Army knife. It's super versatile and can do a ton of things with data transfer. But for downloading, you just use it with that greater than redirect symbol to save the output to a file. You'll want both in your toolbox.
All right, for our last section, let's pop the hood on our system. We're going to see how the command line lets you watch what your computer is doing in real time, kind of like a doctor checking its vital signs.
If you want a snapshot of everything running on your machine, PSAUX is the command. It'll give you a big list, but the important bits to look for are the PID, that's the unique ID for every process, the CPU and memory percentages to see what's hogging resources, and of course, the name of the command itself.
PS is just a snapshot. If you want a live, updating view, top is the old school classic. But honestly, you should install HTOP. It's like top, but way better. It's interactive, color-coded, just much easier to read. And for quick system checks, df-h tells you your disk space, and free-h shows your memory. And that -h flag, that just makes the numbers easy to read in gigabytes and megabytes instead of a giant string of numbers.
So what happens when a program completely freezes up on you? Well, you get to play Terminator. Here's how it works. First, you use PS and grep to find the process ID, the PID of the frozen app. Then, you use the kill command with that number. That's the polite way. It asks the program to please shut down. But if it's being stubborn and won't close, that's when you bring out the big gun, kill -9. That's not a request, that's a command. The process is terminated, no questions asked. Whew, okay. I know we just covered a ton of commands, but don't stress about memorizing every single one right this second, because here's a super cool final command. History. Just type that, and it will literally show you a list of every command you've run. It's like your personal journal of this whole journey.
Then just like that, you have the core toolkit. You can navigate, you can create, you can manage your system, all from that once scary black screen. It's not a barrier anymore, it's your canvas. So, the only question is, with all